Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Kodjabachi. I am the founder and CEO of PersEd, which is a talent development enterprise for personal education. I want to tell you how much I'm happy to be here with you today. I hope that you're enjoying EduTreks and all the wide range of knowledge and inspiration that you are getting from the speakers and this event. Today, I'd like to share with you a word. It doesn't have clear origins, but when you use this word, you have a very clear present and a very clear future. This word has a name, and we're talking about goals. Everything that you dream of, everything that you hope for, your aspirations, your vision of the future, none of that is possible without the power of goals. If you know how to set your goals, you know how to achieve anything that you want. The quality of your future relies on your ability to clarify them. And the quality of your present relies on your ability to know how to manage them. They are tricky to define and tricky to manage, but once you do that, everything becomes much, much easier, and you can finally achieve this goal that you have for your life. So as a young person living in the 21st century, you are at a crossroad. In fact, the entire world is at a crossroad, but now we're talking about you. And what I want to share with you today is 4 key ideas that will help you set the goal that you want and achieve it. And I want to share with you the first element, the first key idea, which is, drum rolls, if you want to achieve your goal, if you want to go macro, you have to think micro. You have to think about all the little things, the tiny nitty-gritty details that would allow you to reach that goal. And in fact, here I want to talk to you about the power of one. I'm not talking about being number one, the power of one action that you can take. One step that you can take, one book that would give you more knowledge, one course that would give you more insights, one event that would give you more contacts with whom you can network. Just one experience, one step, one approach. And at every step of the way, think, I can do this. I can do this. I can definitely do this. Do that every step of the way, throughout the way, no matter what is it that your goal is. So to think macro, you have to think micro. To be able to achieve that big vision, you have to start with smaller goals, with smaller steps. And I want you to take a moment now and think of that one thing that you can do this week that can get you closer to the vision that you have of your life. And I want you to do the same next week. And in a month, think of 2 steps that you can do in 1 week. And before you know it, you would be 100 steps closer to the goal that you want to achieve. So that was the first idea. Moving on to the second idea, which is, drum rolls, be strategic. If you want to achieve that higher goal, that vision that you want, you have to be strategic about how you are organizing yourself at every step of the way. What do I mean by that? Okay, so imagine yourself on the verge of a cliff. Okay, you're on one side and you want to go to the other side. The first thing that you need to think of and really clarify is your vision. Your vision is to get to the other side. You being on the other side is the vision that drives you, that motivates you to do the work that it will allow you to get to the other side. Now, the second thing that you need to think about is the pathway. Think of all the strategies that you need to implement in order to get there. So you need to find pathways, you need to find ways in order to do what is needed to be done in order to achieve that vision, in order to have that vision part of your reality. And then we move on to the third step, which is SMART goals. Start with one SMART goal and then move with the rest. SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, realistic, attainable, realistic, time-bound. So these are 5 keywords that you need to remember. I'm just throwing them at you, and I strongly advise you to go ahead, do your research, find out what SMART goals really are, and see how you can use them in order to build these little steps that will allow you to create the pathway that will allow you to achieve your vision. So think of it like building a bridge. You need to go to the other side, and in order to do that, you need to build a bridge step by step. So the first 2, number 1, to think macro, you have to think micro. And number 2, you have to be strategic and map out the way, every single micro that will lead you to that macro vision of yours. So these are the first 2 ideas that I wanted to share with you today. Moving on to idea number 3. Idea number 3 is actually one of my favorites because it really expresses what's wrong with the way we think at the moment and how we can optimize the way we can think about our lives, about the world, about our objectives, and so on and so forth. So if you look around us, we see that most people think linearly. Point A leading to point B, leading to point C. You go to school, you go to college, you go to university, you graduate, you have a job, you get married, you have kids, and then your kids would do that all over again. So it's cyclical at the end, but your path is purely linear. You go from A to B to C. Truth is, reality is not as organized as we want it to be, because there is no path that is already there, that is already established for you to take it. You create your own path. And you know what's beautiful about it? Is that when you have all these different possibilities, when you have all these different options, you make way for imaginative connections. You can create the life that you want by connecting the dots, by connecting the dots of what you like, of what you are good at, of what the opportunities around you are, of what the community needs. And these different elements, they make what we call the ikigai. So the ikigai is a Japanese word that means reason for being. And you need to find out what your reason for being is. Because if you set out a goal that is not coherent with what you are, with who you are, with your passion, with your vision of the future, the odds are you're going to abandon that goal before you even reach a satisfactory point. It's very important for you to know yourself, to know what goals to set out for you. So I strongly recommend you to explore your ikigai. What is it that you love? What is it that you're passionate about? What is it that you're good at? What are your skills, your aptitudes, your abilities? What are the opportunities that you can see around you to work, to volunteer, to do internships, to learn new things, to apply those learnings? And 4, what does the world need? Because if we achieve ourselves and we're completely detached from the world around us, we miss out on an opportunity to be a key player in our community and in the world, and in the future of that community and in the future of the world. So I want you to think of those 4 key elements, of those 4 key ideas that make your ikigai and connect the dots. Embrace connections. Embrace connections. And it's up to you to find how these pieces of the puzzle, how these different pieces of your life come together and make the tapestry of what makes you you, of what makes you unique, of what makes you special. And then with that alignment of who you are, of what makes you special, and with those little goals, specific steps that you need to take, you can go a long, long way. Now I want to share with you the last point, the 4th key element, which is something that I believe the year 2020 have taught us tremendously well. And we come to realize how valuable this 4th element is. You start out your journey and you want to achieve something. and you have a goal, you have a vision, you have everything set out, you have a direction, everything's good. You feel that you own the world. And then you have a bit of difficulties that join in. Setback here, an obstacle there. Then you have COVID-19 and lockdown. Then you have economic crisis and all of these things that prevent you from achieving your fullest potential. What do you do then? Do you stop? Do you go back? No, you push. You push forward, you push harder, you go above and beyond everything that you think you need to do in order to get to your goal. And that has a name. This is called resilience. You have to be resilient in order to achieve the goal that you want, in order to get where you want to get. Because truth is, there are going to be a lot of obstacles along the way, and you are going to struggle. But despite all of that, if you have within you the motivation, if you have within you the discipline and the determination to achieve that goal, anything is possible. This is even more important when you look around you and you see how unsettling, how uncertain, how ambiguous things are and the world is. And it's quite challenging to accept that things are so uncertain and so ambiguous and so complex. In a way, it's the VUCA model. So volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. I also strongly advise you to look that up. And once you learn how to be adaptive, how to understand that obstacles are going to emerge and that no matter what happens, you have the capability to move forward and put the obstacle aside and just focus on the goal, focus on the vision, and move forward with it. Once you have that in your mindset and you apply that mindset in the day-to-day life, trust me, everything is possible. So I want you also to think about all the different ways in your life that you can implement that mindset, that you can be resilient, and that you can practice that resilience. So here we are, 4 key ideas. First idea, have a vision, but start small. You think micro to be able to achieve macro. 2, clarify the process with SMART goals. Have a clear strategy of how you're going to achieve your goal and use SMART goals along the way. 3, find your ikigai, find your reason for being, and connect all these different elements that make you you. Connect your identity to your reality. Connect your goals to your identity. That's called authenticity. Never forget that. And last but not least, believe that no matter what happens around you, that no matter the challenges, the difficulties, the obstacles, you have within you the power to move mountains. You have within you the power to always find a way. So that was it. This is what I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you found within it the inspiration, the power, the motivation to set your goals, to set the right goals, to move forward with your plan, and to be able to manage the process no matter what happens. Best of luck. Thank you for being here.